So, we won the FA Cup and then everybody stopped talking about that almost instantly because the news broke that Manchester United are set to appoint José Mourinho as manager as of next week. The news is that his agent, Jorge Mendes, will fly in from China on Tuesday to finalise the deal. According to the BBC sport correspondent Dan Rowan, United will let go of Van Gaal on Monday. So this is all going to happen very, very quickly, apparently. The news broke in the sort of hours following the FA Cup, but almost as soon as the FA Cup final was over, really. The BBC were on it straight away, and they're reporting that Manchester United made the decision before the FA Cup final. They decided that, having missed out on Champions League football, that Louis van Gaal had to go, and that they held talks to Mourinho as far back as February. Obviously, we've been hearing about this in the press, sort of snippet and rumour endlessly for at least 6 months. And it's now that the papers and the BBC and Sky Sports have all said, yes, this is what's happening. It's 100% confirmed. This is no longer a case of speculation. This is a case of this is what is happening, according to those people anyway. The BBC, I think, were first with the story. Sky Sports News were on it almost as soon as, saying, according to their sources, that Louis van Gaal would go following the FA Cup final and that Mendes was coming in on Tuesday. Now, how does everybody feel about that? Not really sure is the honest answer. At first, the main thing in my head is it was so disappointing for this all to happen as soon as we've won the FA Cup. Can't we just enjoy? It's been, since 2004 since we won the FA Cup. It's been 3 years since we've won a major trophy. Couldn't we just have enjoyed this and just said, brilliant, we've got a trophy. Let's just focus on right now how nice it is to have won, especially as we were to some extent fortunate to beat Crystal Palace because maybe they should have had a penalty and so on. So that was a shame, and it comes as a little bit classless that Louis van Gaal has to go and answer questions about his future as soon as he's won the FA Cup. That's a shame. But then Mourinho coming in, people will say, automatically looks like probably going to be competing for perhaps the Premier League. Some people getting that carried away. My opinion is this. I know that some people are incredibly excited about Jose. There's a voyeuristic part of me that will fall over. It's very curious to see what he can do at Manchester United. But ultimately, I'll back him and I'll support him and I'll be behind the team as much as I would anybody. But it is a strange move. It's a very un-Manchester United move. It doesn't fit the club ethos very well. Louis van Gaal, for all his faults and for his insufferable football, and to an extent I'm pleased his tenure is going to end because the football has been a nightmare. But I don't think he's had enough credit probably for the amount of injuries we've had and the fact that we still managed to finish fifth, that he blooded so many youngsters, because it would have been so easy not to play Rashford. It would have been so easy to put Rooney as a centre forward or to put Martial as a centre forward and play someone like Depay or Ashley Young or Januzaj or put Herrera in midfield with Schneiderlin or Carrick. Like, it would have been easy to adjust the team to not have to play Marcus Rashford. But he did it and he kept doing it. And I don't think he's had enough credit for that. And people like Borthwick Jackson, wouldn't have been that hard on a few occasions to have drafted in and moved players around, which I think other people would have done. Mourinho, one of them possibly. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think it's a real shame that it's all coming out right now. This could have waited a week. I don't see why. Even until Monday, we could have waited. So I don't know who leaked it. It looks like it was leaked by the Mendes camp. I don't know what their angle is. I don't know why they've done that. But it does seem a shame. And I think it's going to be a very interesting summer, isn't it? It's going to be very exciting because, Mourinho's at the very least going to bring a bit of circus with him, a bit of theatre. And I think the chances are Manchester United will be competing for trophies next season because that's what Jose does. He's done it everywhere he's been, and he's not someone who seems to go and need time to build. He's not that kind of guy. But there are concerns about what that means for the likes of Borthwick Jackson and Martial and Marcus Rashford and these younger players that have done so well this season. But then also, what about David De Gea? Is he now going to stay? Because there was talk that he would leave if Louis van Gaal stayed. Now it looks like that's not going to happen. So does that mean we keep Spanish Day? Because to be honest, without him, where would we have finished? Certainly not 5th. 8th? 9th? It would have been a nightmare, wouldn't it? So I suppose, is it a move? In the short term, great move. Long term, we'll have to wait and see. There are those concerns about Jose and how well he does after 3 years. All we can do for now, though, is, I guess, once it's confirmed, get behind the new manager. Onwards and upwards. Let us know what you think. Get in the comments below. What do you think this means for the younger players? What do you think this means for the club as a whole? Do you think this is just unfortunate, the timing wise? Because I do. I think it's a bit of a shame, to be honest. But other people won't care. I know some people all they care about is now. Yes, Mourinho's coming, Van Gaal's out, and they've moved on straight away. And that's totally down to how you feel about it. But it'd be cool to let us know. So get it in the comments. Thanks very much, and we'll see you soon. So it is 11 years since the Glazer family took a controlling stake in Manchester United Football Club. Over recent times, all of the brunt of fans' frustration has been levelled at Louis van Gaal.